quite trippy.
Hello, and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton King. And we're reviewing an album by David Brent. Well, it's David Brent and Foregone Conclusion, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the album's called Life on the Road. Is it funny?
I don't think it's supposed to be funny, Kev. I think it's sort of it's a mishmash of sort of like American style guitar rock by some guy. It's not really fitting his background, is it?
No, it's strange. This guy who was a professional in some boring thing, and he's gone off to do a bigger band.
Yeah.
It's better than Texas.
So I get like 5 of Tenacious D.
Yeah, we did, of course, we reviewed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there's a similarity there.
You get the acoustic guitar thing going. The problem is, acoustic guitar's great. It sounds great.
And then it sounds great again, the same.
Yeah, and then you sort of keep going and keep going. There is a bit of rap on here, actually.
Oh, the rap's amazing.
Yeah. Again, but it's a bit of a mishmash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mishmash. It's some songs.
Yeah.
And the songs are songs, and that's that.
There's quite a lot of them.
A couple of nice melodies, genuinely, you know, and there's a context. It's all about context, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And without that context, there is nothing there. Literally nothing. It is nothing music in that sense. The song titles are the funniest part of it, actually. In a way, you don't need the music because the song titles are great.
Yeah. There's a note to Slough on here, which is quite interesting.
There's a review on the Amazon. Gave it 5 stars. Most important album since Sgt. Pepper. It'll be in the charts as long as Dark Side of the Moon. That was the review. But that's the thing. I mean, that's funny, but it doesn't mean the music's funny, does it? I mean, I love Ricky Gervais. I know a lot of people don't. This is the thing. It's a very, very Marmite thing, isn't it? And when he's being himself on TV, he's really quite annoying. I mean, being friends with him would be a very different experience to watching his comedy, I think. I think that's part of the reason why some people don't really get it. And obviously, the style of humour it's cringe comedy, but it's also offending people comedy. And you either like that or you don't. And I like that. I do like that.
I don't find it particularly offensive.
No. There's elements of Alan Partridge.
Yeah, there's a knowingness about it, isn't there? There's a sort of the little look to the camera, kind of sums his comedy up, sort of thing.
Yeah, and the point of Alan Partridge is that he's actually more self-aware than you might think, and it's about him. He understands the modern world, and the humour is in him trying to fit in with it.
Yeah.
And in the same way, that David Brent, he does understand, and in trying to be part of something he wants to be part of that he just isn't. That's funny. I love extras, actually. I prefer extras to The Office. But the bit when he brings his guitar to work is amazing. It's so funny, but it's because it doesn't belong there. That's the point, isn't it? Why is he taking guitar to work? I've been tempted to do that. It's pretty funny. But if that was just a recording on a CD of that song, there's nothing there. I mean, it's actually very well crafted, better than I expected it to be. But it almost doesn't matter. Unless you like very, very bland music.
He's sort of... I mean, that's the point of the humour, isn't it? It's supposed to be David Brent pouring his heart out musically and coming up short.
Yeah, come on.
And just revealing just how kind of shallow he is, how self-aware he is.
Yeah. Well, in fact, there is a parallel with a certain bald drummer who had the same problem. Except he was incredibly talented and had massive success, bigger than his own band. And it was incredibly vacuous. That's the thing with Phil Collins, isn't it? However successful he is, he'll never get approval because his music is borderline music, isn't it? And that's the point of that album, like you said, isn't it? It isn't good music. He's not saying it's good music. In which case, how do you listen to it? Comedy and music is hard. It is really hard to do. You can do funny music that's funny, but it's not good, not listenable music. So, I mean, Dred Zeppelin are a band. Look those up if you don't know what that is. Really funny, but to sit through a whole album of it, of an Elvis singer and reggae arrangements of Led Zeppelin songs. So a bit of it, you think, oh, it's really good, it's funny, but a 60-minute album of it is another thing entirely, isn't it? Whereas, a comedy drama or something, the thing that's happening is the comedy is in it. Very difficult to get it into music, and obviously Zappa made funny music, whether it was comedy music, I don't know, but, and Weird Al is the master, because you can listen to his albums and enjoy it, and not just think it's funny. The music is enjoyable, and the humour in it makes it enjoyable. Very difficult.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised. He's a reasonable singer. He's not quite as bad as you expect.
Well, he was in a band, wasn't he?
He was really in a band, and it was a bit like that, actually, wasn't it?
I don't know, they were sort of, I thought they were an 80s like New Romance.
Yeah, New Romantic type stuff.
Type stuff. He's obviously really into his music. I mean, you heard on the Carl Pilkington, the XFM stuff. When he gets tickets to see David Bowie, and he meets David Bowie or something like that. He's genuinely, absolutely made up by it.
Yeah.
So he's really into it, and actually it does sort of show in the music, because they are. I mean, if you didn't know it was David Brent who was on in the background, you wouldn't think much of it. You just it's more
boring radio music. Yeah, exactly. That is the thing. I haven't seen the movie, which makes it maybe I should have seen the movie before reviewing this, but that's the point. Maybe that's the point, isn't it? We're reviewing the album, so we're not reviewing the movie. So it's got to be that album, of those songs, as an album. And there it is, it doesn't compare to Tenacious D. Some of Tenacious D is really good. None of this is really good.
No, and that's the sort of thing I think, because it's a bit... The David Brent movie, a couple of years ago, if you'd asked me that should Ricky Gervais make a David Brent movie, I would say, well, if he's making David Brent movie, he's failed, he's passed.
It's the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
If they made a movie, then it's all over.
But if he had made a David Brent album and just released it as an album,
that would be interesting.
That would have been interesting, actually.
But that's not what that is.
No.
Yeah, this is just the soundtrack. It's just the songs. Some of the songs are actually from The Office.
Yeah.
It's the songs that were in the film.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's just a piece of corporate marketing to do with the film. Movies being such a huge financial thing. In a way, music isn't, actually.
Yeah, actually like any of the...
I won't listen to it again. I'm certainly glad I didn't buy it. But I do like it. I like the song titles, I think, I mean, I'm shooting Free Love Freeway. I think he improvised that.
Not dead. Do you remember that in The Office?
No. Oh yeah.
Gareth starts singing along. It's not dead. I think that was the moment I actually got into The Office. It was that...
It's just amazing.
Before that I was like confused.
Yeah, they're doing
it. At that point I was like, no, this is amazing.
They brought this guy in to do this training.
The guitar.
He goes home to get his guitar. And of course, Mackenzie Crook, I can't remember the name of the character.
Gareth.
Is the sycophant, who's also he's singing along, harmonising, and all the other staff are just sitting there. What the hell is this? But yeah, this isn't brilliant. This is, as we're reviewing an album, you want to buy the album to listen to. Context means so much, like I said, but and if you really like that, and those songs are a thing that makes you laugh, that's on there. But the thing on its own doesn't have that. I don't know whether it can get 1 egg or 2 eggs. Does it get 2 eggs because of that value?
It gets 2 eggs because
without it, it's 1 egg.
Actually, I did listen to it from beginning to end.
Yeah, I did as well.
Non-stop. There's albums we've listened to, I've not managed that.
It's struggling. Yes, it's difficult to get through the whole thing.
There's just enough intrigue in the next song.
The lyrics, really, isn't it? You want to hear the lyrics because they're only funny.
To put it through. So I think it should get 2 eggs.
Okay. Yeah. 2 eggs for Ricky Gervais.
Brent.
Yeah, we've done a one-off. One of the reasons we did a one-off is we're not here next week, sorry. But we will be back in 2 weeks' time for proggy something like that, proper band. We hope you enjoyed this interesting one. That was something different. Goodbye.